Hey everybody. So this defense that Mr. Pratt has you working on, this actually, I've showed it before, but this actually comes from a kata in Koto Ryu called Hoteki. It means release and punch. Really has nothing to do with releasing and punching at all. But I want you to actually, we're going to look at the kata, just so you can kind of get an idea of what you're trying to accomplish in that. So I think if you can see that, then we can understand the technique and the adaptation that we're making for the knife. All right, so if I go on that real quick. So this kata is simply, and we'll actually, no knife needed for this one. It actually starts with a lapel grab and a punch coming in. Boom, just like that. We're going to back off, hit him, stretch this arm out, cover. Okay? From here, we're going to shift in, twist Matt's hand, pick his arm up like this. Uncomfortable, isn't it, Matt? Sure is. Oh, it is. And then from there, there's actually a... Okay? Now, we don't have to go that far. The part I really want you to get is this. So get back out. The moving in, and so there's three things going on. There's a hyperextension of Matt's elbow up. There's a twisting of his hand here, and there's a jamming of his shoulder. So all three of those things, if you notice, Matt's on his tippy toes because he wants to be. All right? I want to get here. And I'm just here. Not really putting a lot of pressure, it's just the angle of everything is really uncomfortable for Matt. All right? So I want us to be able to work. Can we actually get that hyperextension, get that twist, and get that jam? So they're like that. Okay? And I think we'll then see how that actually goes into this knife defense. Because it's roughly the same feeling that I want them to have. Make sense? Okay. Monte. So this is an interesting concept because the anglings that you think you are seeing aren't the anglings that are actually happening. If Matt comes at me and punches and I just stay up here, what's the next thing he's going to do? Punch me again. I have to stop that. So if I come here and I hit and I go around his hand and I haven't done anything, he's going to just keep hitting me. So I need to control this side to stop this side. So the first one comes in, boom, my next one is here. Coming back in front of him. Now Matt's going to have a tough time punching me, especially since I have this hand here. So really, it's not me going around the hand, it's me coming back and actually pushing his elbow up to him. Then lowering the arm and getting that jam. Okay? A lot of people, I think, will see this as coming around. No. This is here. I'm staying on the same place, but I'm turning, almost like I'm throwing a cross punch. Whoa. Right there to him. At the same time, this is turning this as far as it can this way. And then we're in. There you go. Okay? Never once am I going behind. If you look, that whole sequence, I'm only going to take one step. I haven't even moved my feet yet. Okay? So there's a lot of weight shifting and angling on this. All right, but I want people to realize that don't go around the hand. Push this like this so it jams the shoulder so you can't get out from the other side. Okay? Good. That I'm hoping to achieve is that of putting up a tent pole. All right, this is my tent on the ground. This is the pole laying on the ground, and I need to get that up here. So I'm going to take and push this bottom underneath. Put up the tent pole. Do you see that? That's the feeling I'm trying to give that person. I'm trying to push their arm up like this, so they're just teetering on their toes. And because this is max this way, this is max this way, this is jammed up, it's incredibly painful. Unless the thing falls down. Okay? But that is the point. That's the feeling I'm looking forward in this content and you're going to be looking for in the knife technique. Now, that being said, there's more than one way to put the tent pole. I could do this and come like this, just up and over, under, get in this way, transition that to a nice break, no problem. But also, I could get part way up and then bring this back. All right, I'm going to forward, which actually is almost a little worse. So I get to here and realize I don't have it and I can't take that step. So I'm going to pull this back under this. And that's the crux. of what we're doing here. I'm putting it, there's a pull and push going on at the same time. Okay? So, that being said, does everyone kind of feel it, experience the gist of what I'm talking about? Knife. I'm going to make you feel that same thing, but this knife is coming in, but I'm going to be here. Okay? This is replacing the hyperextension and the jam that I had. This is replacing both of those. Okay? This is pulling this way and pushing in. This is the twist. All right? But I'm going to almost roughly the same spot. If I was doing the concept, it would be more here. No, I'm going to do that. More here. I'm trying to pick him up. And in that pickup, it will damage the living hell out of this thing. If it doesn't damage it there, boom! I'm going to break it right here as he falls down. I want that arm broken. Not in training. But if I have a guy stabbing me with a knife, I want a couple things. One, I don't want the ability for him to switch hands. Okay? I don't want him stabbing me 5 or 6 times. I want to stop it after 1. I want to bust this thing instead of trying to clear it, because if I bust this isn't going to hold on very well. Okay? Plus, it will mess him up in here because his arm's broken. He won't really think about grabbing it. He's going to be getting out of there. It gives me time to think, get out of there. So I'm going to try Jensen. Boom! As hard as I can there. If not, boom! Broken right there. Does that make sense? Let's move on to that. Go ahead. So Mate, so just one tip on this too. It's very easy. Actually, first. Nice. Okay. So I see a lot of people as they go to do this, they really kind of cut this close in here, and also this puts ahead. My hand is going to have a tough time because I'm over him like this. To do this, I'm really tight, man. I mean, if I didn't do this footwork right, I would be sad. I don't like this close. All right, I don't quite have control of him yet because I wasn't going to get this arm in there enough, and Aaron's going to just eviscerate me. So he's cut me down this line. I'm told, whoa! This side's wide open now. I'm in here. All right. Now the ability to do it is very tough because notice where my hand is now. Instead of being here, it's here because now I can get this elbow down and get that. So I want this side out of the way. So the initial angle, if he's coming down here, I'm coming at him this way. I'm not just trying to be fancy and go, come, like this. I can't get my hand in the right position. I need to be here, so now my hand can turn under and go. Okay? And I want this side out of the way. I'm not trying to be cute. So my whole objective is to get this arm under his arm. As that comes in, whoa, shit. You know, if that turns into him working around, fine, it's okay. I can do that. That's the pull-up part, right? Which actually is even worse, because that's some odd reason. He pulls him around, great, I just stick this under him. And man, that thing's done in seconds, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, so, attackers here, not here, here, tight. Almost hug this whole thing if I wanted to. If I'm worried about him maybe punching me with the other hand, I tuck this right in. I bite him a little bit. McGee. And then we go out. Okay? Please open up that first angle a little bit. Everyone's playing it close as they're trying to get around the back. Don't worry about it. Get this side of it. Don't get stabbed first and foremost. You'll be fine. And he gets the hand in a better position to do the twist. He grabs here. Right? And you see that. Because if he comes in with this, that's not going to happen. I may not even seen this coming at all. So as he comes in with that, I'm like, whoa! Great. Now I can go down and figure it out. If I'm like this though, I can't really turn it much now, can I? And I really don't want to release this to go back. You could slice my hand. So I want to be here in the first place. So okay, great. And the fingers, my balls and fingers are right on the pad of his thumb. Okay? Everyone see it? You good? All right, go. You guys are doing well. And Mrs. Chief or Mr. Pratt, please, if you have any adaptation to this, please show. But what if this doesn't go right? Right? This is happening in a split second. I got it here. I wasn't really that close. You know, I don't really have the arm the way I wanted to. This thing's actually even a little bent already. Great, we got onikadaki options, but let's stay with this. I'm still hugging this tight. He could be decking me with that next hand. So I'm gonna do that kind of pull over part now. And I'm pulling this down. Yeah, we could go all the way back and drive him with the tamaka right into the ground. But I'm basically, this is a lot I'm doing now here, which I can then stand back up and do it if it doesn't break. Okay? So again, from this side, and you can do it from the first position too. He gets here, boom, here, and instead of going up and in this way, I'm going to do kind of the other version where I said, you know, we're going to pull him in up and up. I'm going to keep this on, but I'm going to drop my left knee and just push that and twist as much as I can. And this would be boom, fast, all my body weight on that elbow. All right, just to snap it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So one, instead of this, we get to here, this is tight, maybe not tight, and grab this, and I'm just gonna throw this behind Matt as I press this to my chest, and just try to push it all the way up. Okay? Make sense? Go ahead, have fun. Don't break each other. So, okay, it's the prince. Actually, I have a minute. Stabs. Oh my god. Now, I want her to bend over. Right? You also know everyone's kind of getting to there. That's the only way I'm going to get this. But notice, if her hips are here, that's where she bends over. If I'm out here, I'm just going to drag her into me. And that's not going to be good. I mean, something else can happen there, but I'm not going to really get this clean. I'm actually dragging her into my shoulder, and the whole thing is just kind of getting blocked because I'm not next to her. So as this happens, as I drop down, I'm going to get my hips on the same line as Lynn's. So now, as she bends over, the shoulder can go by me. And now we're in good stead. We can actually do the takedown. Break it here. Okay? I see people there, you need to kneel down right next to them. So this can happen. If you're too far, all you're going to do is drag them onto you. Does that make sense?
That does.
Yeah, that's what I said. So let's sit next to Dad when we kneel down so our hips are on the same line as their hips. And that way, you can pull them over better. Okay? Right. This isn't the easiest thing in the world. It really isn't. But I want everyone to know, so one thing I've been doing all night is that, you know, the very first one, that grab comes in, I'm very punch, low. Under this the whole time. Never pulling up. Body underneath. This grab underneath. Always been underneath. Never from here. Very hard. I'm underneath like this. All right. That's been one of the kind of keys the whole night is this underneathness. Okay. That being said, what if I don't have to get underneath? You know? Yeah, and that comes in, and just it came in, and it came in. Yeah, so he comes in, and I'm, oh my god, and I really wasn't able to get underneath. I wasn't able to get this grip. I was only able to get here, right? And I kind of got this, but maybe he's super strong. He's trying to force this into my, yeah, like that. I don't like that. So you go. Break his arm now. Okay. The transition is very close, very tight. Correct? Yes, sir. I never once let off his arm. Can we do it again, or are you good? Okay. So no, starting off the same way, but I maybe wasn't in here, I wasn't low, I kind of got this, my hand wasn't here, I kind of got this, and I realized maybe that knife was turned, maybe he stabbed me a little weird, and see here, and I've got this thing pointed, and he's pushing through, and oh! Let's go through that again. One, push through, chest, this arm's going to come right up. So now I have that same jamming effect. Not as good though, is it? No. Not quite as good. Still not comfortable, but not good. So now I'm going to go low. Shoot this side. Just rip this thing. very close the whole time. Boom. No space. Feel that?
Yeah, yeah, I see that.
Boom. I'm actually stepping ahead. You feel there's, I'm not going to give you that back. I'll give you that back for stabbing me. Boom. You push through. But see it all the time. Right there on that arm. No. I do that. I'm dead. Chest. Pushing. Extending. Turning. Getting in here. Put your right foot there. Boom. Tight. Tight. Uncomfortable tight. It's an uncomfortable situation. Okay? You got it? Good. Very first thing that we did tonight, the Hoteki from the grab. Do you remember that? There's 3 parts to it, right? Hey, there was this twist, there was this hyperextension, and there was this jam, right? On this, those 3 are still happening. The whole time this is happening. One thing I don't have is I don't really have the twist. I got this and the jam. I don't have the twist, that's how she gets stabbed me. I push this through, I get into here. But now, I can get the twist. And I see a lot of people, they're coming through and they're trying to push the person into the shoulder. Not going well. But, if I was here, and I was doing this twist at the same time, that push the shoulder is simple. That arm is so hyperextended, you can move them very easily. It's very painful. That moving the shoulder will work. So as this transitions out, don't just think of this side coming forward, think of this side coming back and getting the twist. And then you'll have a better chance of getting, and then this transition here is a lot easier. For those, if there's any kata collectors in the room, this is actually a bow staff, the end of a bow staff kata. Go ho. Boom, boom. All right. Boom, boom. All right, so you're actually a guy with a sword, hitting him once, twice, up in the hands. You go ahead, and he's now where Lin is, looking to cut me down, right? So the sword's gonna come in. The move on this is actually, you take me, nail him like that. That's what you're doing to the arm, right? This is coming through, I'm keeping this tight and close. It's the same move as this, just tighter. This is actually from a bow staff. All right, good. You guys are reverting back to the same thing you were doing earlier. That stab's coming in, and you're getting here. I can't get out of the way of this. There's no room for me to go. If he, I'm getting something cut, something that I like, all right? And I don't want that. I mean, I guess moral victory if I win the fight, but not if I go home castrated. Not cool. So again, I never started like this. I was always starting like this. So now if he cuts, I get out of the way. Worst case scenario, if he cuts, oh, fine. And I have to get a little bit, but this is still protected. Now I am pushing it down, don't get me wrong. All right? But I also give myself room here, so if he cuts, I'm out of the way. I'm not trying to hope to God I push this just right and he cuts me. So again, not here, here. Okay? Didn't get the grip right, a little too right. As he comes right, it's still low. Right? That was the, remember that from the first one? That is now here. Okay? So please, 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 don't try to get behind them faster. Get that angle out of the way, so when they cut, you're safe. Okay? All right, make sense? A couple more minutes. Literally. Okay, Mate, come on in, guys. You guys are very well. This is a lot of it's a lot of stuff is happening at once, and kind of a lot of stuff needs to happen at once because they got a knife, you know, and you really, you know, I mean, granted, you're probably going to take some cuts, which is fine. You just don't want the plunges. You just don't want the important parts sliced and stabbed into. You know, maybe you get a little cut on the forearm, something like that. Okay, you know, we just got to not give them, again, the ability to go 5 or 6 or 7 times. Because now that's a lot of holes to deal with. So they get first, great, you know, okay, got that arm. So now you've prevented this, right? You've prevented the pullback in the second stab. So I guess the question, now what do we got to do, right? We got to disarm them. We got to make sure that A, they can't just go like this. You're grabbing onto this arm and they're stabbing you in the back. So we got to, you know, contort that so they can't get to that knife. And if we can break that arm as soon as possible, great, that's going to help the grip. All right, plus the fact now they're in a lot of pain. And so being able to get this turn hyperextended, and it's really, this turn makes a big deal, especially against somebody who's strong. Somebody's like this, they pull in, this hand's pronate. You get this like this, there's nothing there. Snapping that arm, snapping that arm, snapping that arm, snapping that arm. Yeah, we gotta find all these locations to be able to work around this. There's not a lot of things that I insist on people getting here. There really isn't. This is one I kind of really want everybody good at. Because there's also a lot of other lessons in here too. Controlling the shoulder, getting on there, and be able to manipulate. You know, even if you're like in, say, Tim's Heidi here. And say this wasn't even a knife thing, but we're here. Just like that, someone grabs on. Great. There's the technique. That whole technique was right there, right? Boom. Right? I think we can see that. Right? You can see the whole transition through. You just, here. Being able to get into here. Very, very good positioning to move from. And being able to work in and around that arm and control that wrist. Does that make sense? You guys did very well. This is tough. This is tough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things you got to do in 1 foot diameter range while they have a knife. So we're gonna keep pounding this into you. But you guys did a major jump on that. So nice work. All right, questions, thoughts? You kicked ass on that. Trying to vie for another belt, huh? Jesus, just gave you that one. So greedy. All right. Good job, guys. Nice job. All right. Yeah, it's like, where's the dog?